Highway to Ire.
With DJ Reeves,
KZSC Santa Cruz,
California. All right.
Hey, how's everyone doing? It's Riz, aka DJ RSD, the host of UC Santa Cruz's only island reggae show, Highway to Ire, Saturday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. I'm representing KZSC Santa Cruz, the Great 88, and I'm here with the one and only Katchafire from New Zealand. How are y'all feeling today?
Kia ora, Riz. We're feeling good.
Ire.
Yeah? Awesome. So, I know you guys are on tour right now.
Can't smell it.
I know you guys are on...
I haven't got smell-o-vision, but it always smells good in the background.
It smells real good up in here. Yeah. So I know you guys are on tour right now. Can you explain what's the difference of this tour than every other tour?
What is the difference to this tour? I think the main difference was the East Coast, Miami leg of the tour. You know, we haven't really been too much out that way. Also, we got like a new single that we're sort of out here pushing, and yeah, some new territories, some new people to meet, broadening our fan base, man, and staying out here accessible to the fans. That's the big thing coming from New Zealand. There's a lot of people just thank us every night for being out here, you know.
How's the tour going for you so far?
Man, awesome. It's just been like one big party from day one. You know, we've done this is our last show tonight of 13 in a row. You can imagine it's basically like 13 parties in a row, non-stop from town to town. So it's been really, really fun. We've been out there.
Like running into you, you know.
It's really a blessing for you guys to meet you guys. As if you guys heard my reggae show yesterday, every time I start my reggae show, Highway to Ire, I start out with Katchafire's Ire. And my brother had his radio station at KSJS, and his show was called Ire Times, and he also started the show with Katchafire's Ire. So with that being said, what is your guys' favorite song that you guys have ever made? I know you guys make a ton of songs, but
for me, you know, I like Colour Me Life. You know, it's got a really good message, you know, good beat to it. So, you know, it's a crossover kind of tune as well, so it can reach deep into the commercial kind of scene and make an impact there. So
Ire, man, it's one of my favorite tunes.
how long did it take for you guys to make Ire?
Maybe 3 takes in the studio, and then 3 days doing production and stuff like that. It wasn't too long in the studio. All the tracking was done like in an hour and a half, you know.
What's the shortest time it took for you guys to make a song? What's the longest time it took?
just trying to think back. The track J-Dub pretty much done in like 2 takes, about a half an hour and a lunch break. So
What's the longest one's taken? Groove Again, pretty heavily produced. We all kind of try and take, you know, a little bit longer on the singles and even up the hours and on the songs. Each writer is the boss of their song, you know, and we try and manage everybody's time so it's even, and no divas, and no one's having like 10 days on one song and shit like that.
And but what's the weirdest time or like place you guys thought of making a song, or a random idea popped up in your head about making a song?
Man, a lot of the time you get a good idea like just when you're going to sleep.
How much sleep you guys get during the tour?
Oh, yeah, so it's precious, you know, it's like, you know, 4 or 5 hours averaging a night, and then you go to sort of turn your brain off, and then a tune comes in your head, so you gotta like either record something, a melody, or get back up and put like a little idea down.
I remember one time in Brazil, we had finished a show at like, it was like 4:30 in the morning, and we had done a double bill with Steel Pulse, and Amlak, the bass player, was just amped there as soon as we got off stage, and it was like 4:30 a.m. and like you said, sleep was precious because we were rolling out to the next town. He's like, yeah man, we need to go to the studio right now, man, and make some tunes to the sunrise. And we're just like, bro, you know.
What was the most electrifying response you received from the crowd at any concert, or what was the most memorable concert or gig you guys had, or tour?
Whoa, it's pretty hard. Bring it down. I always enjoy the all ages shows. People not being too intoxicated and actually there for the music. You know, it feels like it's a better vibe a lot of the time. Yeah, I love it. I love that too. You know, I feed off that too. It's crazy. 10,000 people singing your song back.
Been in some really hype situations, you know, when like 10,000 plus people singing the songs back, and it's louder than the PA system. You know, so different vibes when we're playing. I remember we were in Fiji one time, there was like a hall packed with people, and so, you know, they consume kava like alcohol, And you know, so by the time we got on stage, you know, they'd been 2-3 hours deep into kava, so they were just pretty much just numb and dead. So after every song, you know, it was like we'd put our heart and soul into the song, and, you know, like boom, thank you very much, and it'd just be dead silence and the thing because everyone's just so deeply carved out, you know.
I know back home that you guys got a huge fan base, right? Like we would pay a lot of money to go to your shows, and you guys would stock out like a massive show. And what's it like to come here and be in like a little room
The
with
atrium?
Like, yeah, like the atrium.
It's always been those vibes here in Santa Cruz for us, you know. We've played the big side before as well, but we also love playing Moe's, just a little room, you know, just because of that great intimate vibe with the people. And the fans out here are really appreciative of us as well.
So, Katchafire, why Katchafire? How did you guys come up with that name?
Why Carhartt? Why Nike? Why Apple? It just sort of was the one that came out of the hat, you know?
The backstory is that we drew a few names out of the hat, and that was the one that come out. But yeah, so Katchafire is definitely the name that we settled on because you know, it was Bob Marley's first album that broke him into you know, commercial success. And you know, Katchafire's beginnings, our roots were a Bob Marley tribute band, you know, a reggae tribute band. So it was just fitting that we, you know, kind of took the name to help perpetuate, you know, his message and his works, you know, again, and try and further it on again, you know. So I think it's, you know, very fitting, you know, and to our timeline, our history line. So
Reggae music has been experiencing a resurgence in music today. How do you guys feel like being in the midst of all that?
Yeah, we feel blessed. I think a lot of the bands out here, young and old, kind of know who we are. And among peers, you know, we're respected. You know, to me, that kind of means a little bit more respected and have our music known amongst our peers out here. It's been like that at home too, I think maybe for a little bit longer. It's been happening here for like 5 to 7 years, at home for 10 years maybe. And reggae is absolutely huge, you know, so we're seeing this whole surf culture coming together with melting rock and kind of, you know, reggae's taking over.
Additive to what, you know, Jamaican reggae has introduced to the world, you know, and I think that's another good conversation break off on that. You know, we've been lucky enough to see the change, we've been in the game long enough to see the change in reggae and how it's affected, you know, and how it's spread and how it's been accepted. You know, there's mixed feelings about, you know, these different break-offs of reggae. You know, we've got South Pacific reggae, which is everything down in the South Pacific, New Zealand, you know, your European, your Californian reggae. So it's like the bro is saying, you know, it's really good for the genre, and it's promising, you know, and it's another contribution moving forward.
For those who have never heard of Katchafire, what separates you guys from other bands?
Yes, our harmonies.
Organic vibe happening right in front of you, you know. It's, even though it's the same song, it's the same painting, it gets painted different every night, you know. So it's really an authentic look at music and art being created right in front of your face, you know. Because there's a lot of bands now these days that are having technology assist them, and you know, it's like, hang on, where's the saxophone player? There's no saxophone player on there, but there's a saxophone coming through. You know, so there's all this kind of stuff going on as well too. So, you know, that's what I think we've always tried to keep as an authentic, you know, real look, truthful look at it, you know, and genuine. You know, pay to come and see art form. You know, you want to have some kind of integrity. So that's kind of been always one of our focuses. Just keep it real.
Are New Zealanders called Kiwis?
Māoris don't like being Kiwis.
Okay, I apologize.
Kiwis.
Okay.
Nah, it's okay. We can still be called Kiwis, of course, on a national level.
Okay.
We like to say first and foremost, we're native of New Zealand, Māoris.
So I know there's a ton of your kind like playing sports and especially rugby. Do you think there's been a positive impact? Do you think you guys are represented well? Like, oh, you guys are only known for playing sports, etc. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. Like, All Blacks is one of the biggest brands coming out of New Zealand. Kiwi, a flightless bird, not many people know that. And that our country is apparently beautiful. If you're in Hawaii, they know Catch a Fire, and they know Once Were Warriors, the movie. So there's not too many sort of brands. We all grew up playing rugby. It's a culture, If you didn't play rugby, you're a scientist or something,
Anything from a small place like New Zealand, you're gonna get noticed, whether it's music, whether it's academics. If you stand out, then you're gonna get noticed. So I think music's definitely up there on the world stage, on par with like the All Blacks and all these elite sports teams. And
successful Kiwis, because Stephen Adams come out and seen us in Orlando, Yeah, he came and seen us in Orlando at our show, Came out and showed love. Back at you, cuzzy.
Shout out Steven Adams, Oklahoma City Thunder, representing. If you guys ever made a super song, who would you guys feature on the song?
Protege, Chronix.
Would you guys ever make a song with them, or like Fat Freddy's Drop, or Black Seeds, or J-Boog?
All of the above. Coming at you.
Watch out, we got some new fire coming for y'all.
Yeah, man, that was it. It's nice to see you boys out here. Makes it all feel at home. It's just great to have you guys here. Just love it. Been waiting for a while for this show, so just like to say thank you.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool, can't wait, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one tonight.
We'd like to, hopefully there's some other Kiwis in the house we're gonna make homesick tonight.
Awesome. So make sure to check out my reggae show, Island Reggae Show, every Saturdays, 10 p.m. to midnight, Highway to Iray. I open up my show every time with the very own Catchafire's Iray. Catch a Fire in the building. Let's have a great show, y'all. Thank you guys so much.
Catch a fire on the road again.
If you know the words, tell everybody, teach everybody. Whoa.